Imagine waking up tomorrow and just handing over every single decision you make to an artificial intelligence. Sounds kind of like a borderline sci-fi movie, right? Well, the source material we're unpacking in this explainer looks at what happens when someone actually does this. We're looking at the algorithmic day. It's a full 12-hour experiment where an AI algorithm literally dictated everything, from the morning schedule right down to afternoon creative work.
Just think about that for a second. Would you willingly let an AI plan out your entire day? I mean, how you work, exactly when you take breaks, what you learn, how you organize your very existence? We've got the data on a full 12-hour experiment doing exactly this. And let me tell you, the massive productivity spikes, along with some pretty glaring, inescapable limitations, are going to completely surprise you.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for the day. We're tracking this total surrender of control, starting with 8 a.m. planning, moving right on through deep work and learning, all the way to the final verdict at 8 p.m. Let's see exactly how the AI performed as a personal manager.
So it all kicks off right at 8 a.m. And the first step wasn't just, casually asking an AI to write a quick email. No, this was demanding the AI construct the entire daily schedule completely from scratch. Instead of agonizing over priorities over a morning cup of coffee, the human just handed over the reins. The AI instantly mapped out these specific time blocks. And get this, it didn't just schedule work. It actually forced a mandatory 15-minute walk outside that the creator admitted they normally would have totally skipped. By strictly following this machine-generated plan, decision fatigue was just entirely eliminated before the day even truly started.
Moving on to 10 a.m., it was time for some deep work, and a really clear division of labor emerged here. The AI completely took over the heavy lifting. We are talking about summarizing massive, super dense documents and brainstorming initial concepts, basically compressing what usually takes hours of tedious reading and outlining into, well, a matter of seconds. But, and this is key, the human wasn't obsolete. Instead, they stepped up into the role of a high-level editor, reviewing and refining that raw, machine-generated output into something genuinely usable. It became this really powerful partnership.
After lunch, right at 1 p.m., the AI's schedule dictated a major shift into creative work. Now, creativity is usually that sacred ground where we kind of assume humans have an absolute monopoly, right? But the experiment leaned aggressively into AI generation tools here too. The creator used AI to rapidly generate imagery, design thumbnails, and brainstorm some pretty complex video hooks. Just to give you an idea of the scale here, the AI pumped out 50 different thumbnail concepts in under a minute. That's a task that would easily take a human designer well over an hour just to sketch out.
Now here is the absolutely crucial takeaway from that afternoon session. While the AI churns out all these options at lightning speed, it entirely lacks taste. It just doesn't have that final discerning eye. A human is absolutely required to sift through the noise, pick out the few genuinely good ideas from that huge pile of 50, and make the nuanced final edits. So the AI provides this overwhelming amount of raw material, sure, but human curation is what actually gives that material a soul. By 3 p.m., the focus shifted to learning, but instead of passively scrolling through articles or watching a standard tutorial on, say, how large language models process data, the AI acted as a personalized one-on-one tutor. And what's really interesting about this slide is how it shows the AI taking that highly complex topic and breaking the dense technical jargon down into simple, digestible analogies. And then came the real magic of active learning. It actually answered specific follow-up questions in real time. It turned what's normally a dry study session into a dynamic step-by-step conversation. Anyway, let's fast forward to the late afternoon and see how this all wraps up. At 5 p.m., it was time to tackle the mental clutter. Drafting those lingering emails, organizing messy notes collected throughout the day, and building tomorrow's to-do list. Offloading these specific repetitive microtasks to an algorithm makes everything move incredibly fast. It essentially cleans out your digital inbox in minutes. That frees up your time so you can actually focus on higher-level thinking, or honestly, just shut your laptop and finish your workday earlier than you ever thought possible.
The clock hits 8 p.m. The experiment is officially over. So, what's the final verdict? Well, when we look strictly at productivity, the AI proved to be an absolute powerhouse. Its greatest strengths? Speeding up those mind-numbing repetitive tasks, organizing massive amounts of information seamlessly, and really accelerating routine workflows. When it comes to pure, unfiltered output and organization, this technology is just unmatched. It simply removes the friction from getting things done.
But we've got to juxtapose that unprecedented speed with the AI's inherent boundaries, because there are certain necessities that absolutely demand a human touch. We're talking true creativity, complex decision-making, rigorous fact-checking, and overarching human judgment. As advanced as this tech is, it heavily relies on you to verify its claims. It can organize a dataset flawlessly, sure, but it doesn't intuitively know if that data is actually true. It can generate 100 different ideas, but it relies entirely on your judgment to know which of those ideas is going to actually resonate with real people.
Which brings us to a really powerful concluding realization straight from the source material. Listen closely to this. It's best used as an assistant, not a replacement for your own thinking and decisions. That is the core takeaway of this entire algorithmic day. AI is a phenomenally powerful tool to empower our routines and save us literally hours of tedious work, but it is not a replacement for your brain. You are the director, the AI is simply your very fast, very eager production crew.
So I'll leave you with this question. Can an AI run your entire day tomorrow? Well, it can absolutely transform your productivity, and it can structure your workflow in ways you might never have even thought of. But knowing its profound limitations and judgment, would you actually want it to? Take these learnings, apply them to your own routines, and figure out exactly where you can leverage this ultimate assistant and where you absolutely need to keep your hands firmly on the wheel.